Hello, everybody. This is Exter99. Welcome back to what I call Cowboys TnT, which means Cowboys Thoughts and Talk. This is basically just my opinion of the Cowboys, where we're at, what happened on game day. I'm going to try to do this every week. I didn't get around to doing one last week, mainly because I hadn't got a lot of views on my first episode. I think I only had like 20 views or whatever. But today was such a big game for the Cowboys after their third game of the season. They played the Rams and they got down in a hole 21 to nothing. And I don't know if you haven't seen the game, if you're a Cowboys fan, Rams fan, whatever, you're just listening to this just to hear it. The Rams started off behind the running back Zach Stacy, and they was getting good runs. They was just basically, blowing us apart, our defense, and just picking us apart and controlling the game, total ball control. And they were getting like real short third downs, very manageable third downs, and the third string quarterback Austin Davis was just brilliant in the game. He, had a lot of poise in the game. He was hitting his targets. He wasn't getting very rattled in the game. And the Rams jumped off to an early 7-0 lead. Took like 8.5 minutes of the first quarter of the drive, and just ran the ball down our throat. And we couldn't stop him. It didn't look like we was going to be able to stop him the whole game. Cowboys get the next kickoff. Doing good. Get the passing game. Try to open up the running game. A couple of nice, short passes to Dez Bryant is how Romo started off. And then we had a run to DeMarco Murray. And he was tripped up by one of the Rams defensive linemen. Probably should have been a tripping penalty, but it wasn't called. Murray didn't hold onto the ball as he was falling down. The elbow of another defensive player hit the ball, knocked it out before he hit the turf. Fumble, his third fumble in the first 3 games of the season. He's never fumbled this much. But it does seem like last week and this week, when he fumbles the ball, he kind of turns on beast mode and turns into just a powerhouse beast. Anyway, the Rams took that ball and quickly scored again, making it 14-0. Dallas got the ball again in the second quarter, and down deep in their own territory, Romo was basically tricked into throwing to a covered Dez Bryant. Romo had a little pressure in his face. He didn't have as much pressure as he had last week this game. Last week he just had tons of pressure in his face the whole game. But he did have a little bit of pressure. The pocket was kind of closing in. He was in a hurry, and he was he fell right into the defensive corner's game, and it was a pick six. Thrown an interception, ran back for a touchdown. Cowboys were down 21-0 early in the second quarter. Now I remember being on a chat forum on another live YouTube stream during the game, and Cowboys fans at this point were calling for Romo's head. They were calling for Whedon to come in and play, and a lot of them were saying the game's over. I do remember telling people, hey, it's early in the second quarter. It doesn't look good, but we're still in this game. The game's not over until it's over, especially early in the second quarter. Okay? So we took that kickoff, or they kicked it off to us after they scored that 21-7 interception touchdown. And we was able to assemble a drive, mainly behind DeMarco Murray. Romo threw a couple of nice passes, but Murray just turned on beast mode, like I said. We drove down there, and Murray scored a 1-yard touchdown from the one. I believe we had a defensive penalty on the Rams that got us down to the 1-yard line, and it was another pass. I believe this is the one. It was another pass that Romo shouldn't have thrown. He was trying to throw to Cole Beasley, who was basically double covered, and we kind of got lucky and fortunate on a defensive penalty. I don't know if it was here or not, but there was one play there where Romo threw to Beasley in the end zone, and he was kind of double covered. It wasn't a good pass, I didn't think. Pass Romo probably should have held back and not tried to force in there. We was lucky on that one. We got a defensive. It was only a 5-yard penalty on that one, though. But anyway, we scored on the ensuing kickoff before the halftime, made it 21-7, cut the lead. We held the Rams. The Rams were driving, but I believe that's when they fumbled the ball at about our 40-yard line. We got the ball back, and we had a nice couple of plays, short passes by Romo. We only had the ball with like 35 seconds left when we got the ball, 35 seconds left in half. And the biggest play that helped us was we had a roughing the passer on the Rams at that point, and that helped us a lot. It really wasn't roughing the passer. The guy didn't even touch the helmet of the Cowboys like the ref said. It was basically on the shoulders, and definitely Jeff Fisher on the sideline was pretty hot about it. We got lucky on that one, and it did help us set up a Dan Bailey field goal. Dan Bailey is a stud kicker. He is red hot and definitely one of the best kickers in the league right now. Anybody that's playing fantasy football, I'm sure, loves to have Dan Bailey at this point. But we cut it to 21-10, and the Rams had elected to receive the first half kickoff when they won the coin toss. So we got the ball in the second half. We drove down again using ball control, using Murray, and keeping our third and distance manageable, and made it 21-17. And then we made it 21-20. Or 20, yeah, 20, we cut the score again with another field goal. Rams 21, Dallas 20. Rams kicked a field goal, made it 24-20. And this, with about 13 minutes left in the game, Dallas got the ball after their field goal to make it 24-20. We was lucky they didn't go up by more because they missed a golden opportunity on a pass from the Rams quarterback right in the end zone. The guy bubbled the ball like 4 or 5 times, and I believe it was Cook, if I'm not mistaken, their tight end. But he should have caught that ball for a touchdown. It was right in his hands, and he dropped it. We was lucky we didn't go down by more, but it was just 24-20 at that point. About 13 minutes left in the game, I believe. And Romo, at this point, turned on clutch mode. I mean, the guy was a beast right here. When the Cowboys needed it the most, Romo came through with flying colors. Deep in their own end zone, after a couple of they tried to hand the ball off, trying to keep the running game going. Murray was getting stuffed, losing 5 yards and stuff like that. I think it was like 3rd and 12, I believe it was, down deep in their own territory. Receivers were covered. Romo ended up scrambling, making a couple of really, really good twists and moves to actually get that first down. He didn't slide. He actually went for it and risked, getting hit hard to make that first down, but very, very clutch play. 3rd and 12, I believe he scrambled for 14. Maybe it was 3rd and 13, and he scrambled for 15. I believe he got 2 yards more than he needed, but definitely a clutch play by Romo there. Couple of plays later, we're at 3rd and 15 again, and Romo came through again with another big pass over the middle, and he stayed poised in the pocket when the pocket was crumbling around him. Threw a perfect strike. I believe this one was to Terrence Williams for a first down. I could be wrong on who he threw it to, but Romo was clutch as hell on this drive. And then he continued to throw accurate passes all the way down, got us in the score. We went up by 27-20. And Romo had a hell of a drive on that drive. And because of that drive alone, and because of Romo's performance in this game, I think that I would give Romo the credits for the MVP in the comeback win. Murray had a big part of it as well, and the defense played tough in the second half as well and hung in there to pull out the win. Bruce Carter on the next ensuing kickoff, there was still a lot of time left, 6-7 minutes when the Rams got the ball left. They were behind only by 3 points, and we got some pressure in on their third-string quarterback, Austin Davis. He threw a pick six right to Bruce Carter, who ran it back for a touchdown the other way. Made it 34-24. We took a 10-point lead, and at that point we kind of went into a prevent defense, let them drive back down and make it close with 2 minutes left. They cut the score down to 34-31, but they ended up stopping us, and we had to kick the ball. They used all their timeouts. We kicked the ball. They had it 1st and 10 at their 20. They was using a lot of time without timeouts left, and then they had to kind of go for throwing short passes. We're using a lot of time. They kind of had to go deeper with about 110, 120 left in the game, something like that. And he went to the left side and overthrew his receiver. I believe his receiver I believe it was Quick, who scored a touchdown for the Rams earlier, but I believe he kind of slowed down or stopped when he shouldn't have. Anyway, Mo Claiborne came through with a nice pick to basically wrap the game up. And Claiborne had been kind of beaten on a few passes earlier in the game, so I was glad to see Mo Claiborne actually, take that game winner at the very end of the game. But I want to go ahead and say a big shout out to the Cowboys for holding on and, not giving up. I think it takes a lot of poise to go out there and be down 21-0 like the Cowboys were, and the game looked like it's headed, to a shutout, to a major blowout by the Rams. The Cowboys hold tough. They didn't give up. They kept fighting, and they got the win. Now, the Cowboys have surprised me. Earlier this season, I predicted the Cowboys would go 4-12 this season because of their defense mainly. And, I figured their defense would not be able to play as well as they've played with a bunch of no-names. And the Cowboys' defense has played up to par, especially last week. So I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the play of the defense, that nobody expected. We don't have the players and the names that we had last year. When you talk about some of our losses like DeMarcus Ware, and then we lost Jason Hatcher to the Redskins. The Cowboys are playing better with major injuries on the defense now, but they're playing better than they did last year. Our next test is going to come next Sunday night when we play the Saints to see how good we really are. Okay? But I want to talk about a couple of things here. Last week, when the Cowboys played Tennessee, Romo got roughed up. Okay? And when I went back and looked at it, I saw the reason Romo had so much pressure most of the time last week and why he took the 5 or 6 sacks he took. He was hit and hurried a lot more. I mean, he was just beat up the whole game. Last week, even though Dallas got the ball, Romo was under a lot of duress for pretty much the whole game. And the guy that kept getting beat over and over and over again on the offensive line was Doug Free. Doug Free, at this point, with as much experience as he has, and as long as he's been there, should not be getting beat the way he's getting beat. Now, our new offensive lineman, Zach Martin, he is playing really, really well. Of course, Tyron's playing really well, and so is Travis Frederick, the center, playing really, really well. It's time I call out Doug Free. Doug Free, it's time to step up your game and quit getting beat. You are letting a rookie kick your butt. So it's time that I call out Doug Free. He needs to step up his ball game, okay? Because last week he was getting beat continually. I believe from what I saw this week, he did play a better game this week, but I would like to see more out of Doug Free. Romo last week when he was getting beat up and getting sacked and everything like that, Romo also did not look anything like the old Romo we've seen over the years. He did not look, when he had that pressure, he was not able to scramble or move or get out of the way of the defensive pressure at all. And it looked really bad. I didn't know if it was just rust or if, he's permanently, going to be an immobile quarterback. I really couldn't tell last week. So this week, I saw a hell of a difference between this week and last week, and it was a huge relief to see Romo being able to make some people miss like he did, and especially on that third down scramble. He looked brilliant on that scramble, and his back looks like it is giving him a lot less trouble. At least it looked that way on the field. But a huge, huge difference in Romo's back, and the zip that he puts on the balls between last week and this week, his ability to move in the pocket, his ability to evade pressure. Big time improvement in this week from Romo. So I loved seeing that because that really had me worried last week after seeing Romo not be able to evade any pressure at all. And then this week he came through. Still didn't look quite like the old Romo that we're used to, but he looked a hell of a lot better. So I did like going ahead and seeing that. Bryant, another good game. Murray, another great game. We need Murray to hold on to the ball. But it does seem like when he fumbles the ball, he turns on beast mode. But hopefully what we can do is call out Murray. Murray, hold on to that ball. Turn on beast mode without losing the ball and losing fumbles because we can't have that in these games. When we play the Saints next week, we can't have turnovers. Okay? A lot of people are going to think the Cowboys are going to get blown out next Sunday night. I'm going to go ahead and be known to say right now that the Cowboys are going to play the hell out of the Saints. If the Cowboys can stop the turnovers, we don't have the fumbles by Murray or anybody, no fumbles by Des Bryant or Williams or anybody else. Hold the ball, and we have no interceptions by Romo. Dallas is going to have a very good chance to beat the Saints at home next week. Watch for Dallas to have a very good game next week. I'm saying it right now. We might even win. We stop the turnovers, Dallas is going to play the hell out of the Saints, and it's going to be a barn burner. I look forward to watching it, and don't be surprised if the Cowboys pull off an upset here. I'm telling you right now, do not be surprised to see this Cowboy team pull off a huge upset when the Saints come to town next week. Saints are going to be hungry. They're going to be they're 1-2 right now. They're going to be hungry for a win, and they're going to come to play. But I'm saying right now, I think this Cowboy team, if they play with the heart they played with today, and they can stop the turnovers, Dallas is going to be in a good position to give them a hell of a game. So I look forward to next Sunday night's game. I could be completely wrong. We might get blown out like everybody's going to think we are. But I like what I've seen the past 2 weeks from the Cowboys. I think that if we can stop the turnovers, and if our offensive line, I'm calling you out, Doug Free, if we can block and get some good holes for Murray, get that running game going, I'm seeing a pretty competitive game next week. So I'd like to know what you guys say about today's game, last week's game, about Romo, about Murray, about Des Bryant, whoever you want to talk about on the Cowboys. Go ahead and put those comments down below. Who did you see today that stood out, in your opinion? Who was the difference makers? Another guy I want to call out here on the Cowboys and say that I love, and I've always loved Scandrick. Scandrick, I think, is our best corner. I think he outperforms both the guys that cost us a hell of a lot more money and that we expect more from, and Carr and Mo Claiborne. Scandrick is a better player than both of them guys. So another call out from me to both those big name cornerbacks we got in Brandon Carr and Mo Claiborne. You guys need to up your game. This guy that's making less than half the money you guys make in Scandrick is outplaying you guys. So you guys need to up your game. Start covering these receivers better. Quit getting beat. Okay? Start breaking up some of these passes. Scandrick does it all the time. And Scandrick in this game against the Rams had a brilliant play where the Rams were driving and they were going to go ahead. And they were deep in our territory. They were driving it down the throats again. And Claiborne stopped a short pass over the middle. And Claiborne came up and made a hell of a stop on 3rd and I think it was 8 or something like that. Mo Claiborne stopped the guy inches before he got the first down, and he fought to get him down and make sure he was down before he got that ball over the first down scrimmage. Made it 4th and inches. Jeff Fisher, being ballsy, went for it on 4th and inches, and that's when what was his name? Hitchinson or whatever his name was for the Cowboys. Hitchens. He came through and made a nice stop on 4th down, and we prevented the Rams from getting any points at all. But that was all started by cornerback Scandrick making a hell of a stop, preventing a guy from getting a first down there, putting them in a 4th and inches position, and then we had a nice play on 4th down to stop him from getting that first. But great play by Scandrick, and Scandrick played a hell of a game today. His first game back after being suspended, and then they changed they changed those rules for what gets guys suspended and stuff like that. So he came back his first game today, and Scandrick, love you, baby. He's a hell of a baller. So definitely time to step up the game, Claiborne and Brandon Carr. Start putting the effort out that Scandrick puts out week in, week out for the Cowboys. But other than that, yeah, I loved what I saw today on the field from the Cowboys. And but you guys tell me, who you thought played today's game. I'm giving the MVP today to Tony Romo, mainly because of his clutch drive when they needed him the most. He came through with some very clutch plays and passes on that drive. So, you couldn't. I wouldn't argue with you if you said that, Bryant or Murray or one of the defensive guys like Scandrick, you think won the MVP. But I'm giving the MVP to Tony Romo myself. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about the chances of the Cowboys next week when the Saints come to town. Do the Cowboys have a chance at all? What do you think? Let me know if you think I'm wrong. But I want to hear from you guys. I read all my comments. I may not respond to all of them, but I definitely do read all my comments. So be sure you're putting those comments down below. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, be sure you click that little button in the upper right-hand corner. You can definitely subscribe to me right there. You can also give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down by clicking on the upper right-hand corner. Hover your mouse up there, and there is an option to give me a thumbs up or thumbs down right there. please do that. It lets me know if you guys are enjoying these videos that I'm making. And I want to go ahead and say thank you guys to all for watching my videos. Thanks to all the Cowboy fans out there rooting like I am every week for the Cowboys to win. It hasn't been easy to be a Cowboys fan over these past 10, 12 years, I can tell you that. It's been heartbreaking too many times. So definitely hasn't been easy to be a Cowboys fan over the years, and it's probably not going to be easy again this year. I already have a feeling that Romo is going to be put in a position next week with a close game to pull out a clutch drive to win the game. We'll see what he does. But I think the Cowboys are going to keep next week's game close, a lot closer than a lot of people think. And I have a feeling that Romo is going to be put in another position when we need him to come through big at the end to win the game. It's going to be on Sunday Night Football. There's going to be millions of people watching. And Romo is going to be put in a situation where he can win the game for the Cowboys. And it's going to be clutch time to see what he does. So I'm looking forward to seeing if I'm right and seeing if that happens and seeing how Romo does in that situation against the Saints in a big game on national TV. So we'll see. But anyway, be sure you leave those comments, be sure you share, be sure you subscribe, be sure you like my video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. This has been Zaxter99 with my Cowboys TnT Thoughts and Talk. You guys have a good one. We'll see you next week.